What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of View for Rurouni Kenshin. This is episode 43, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah, so this is of course the first part of the Great Kyoto
Yeah,
Fire
so
storyline.
we pick up like right where the last one left off. Where, well, not exactly. I mean, we pick up after one of the scenes from the last episode where the two ninja women got ambushed by I think his name's Iwabo, the big fat guy. And they cut off right before he supposedly like attacked them. But unfortunately, like, I guess some people were expecting there was going to be a fight scene here, but the two of them end up escaping. Um, because at first I thought like maybe he had captured them, but they end up getting away.
Yeah, and then we cut back to to Kyoto where several like of Shishio's men are getting ready to start the fire, but they end up getting stopped by a lot of the police officers that are stationed over there. They and of course they managed to capture at least maybe a couple dozen
Yeah, they said
interlopers,
about like
but
20,
it gets to
about
the
20
point where
people.
yeah, yeah, it gets to the point where several of the 10 sword members end up getting involved in the fight between Shishio's men and the police force.
I'm still so confused about I think Yumi, or I think his name's Yumi, the one person, because they refer to Yumi in this episode as her, or like Miss Yumi or something like.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable thinking, considering that nobody thinks that that this person's uh, an
Yeah.
actual guy instead of a woman. Um, I mean, if people who've read the manga and the original anime know that this is not a woman,
Yeah,
so
I guess maybe at some
so
point they'll like be a little bit more clear on that, I guess, or maybe it's just like one of those characters where it's like ambiguous.
yeah, it's just I don't think like Shishio's men are even aware that this person's a
Okay.
man, but yeah, it's I think just only mainly people in Shishio's inner circle really knows you know this character's
Yeah, because some
gender
of them have
identity,
referred to
but
Yumi as a guy in the previous episode.
yeah. Yes, but yeah, several of the 10 Swords members, including I think the blind guy. I keep forgetting his name. They ended up killing several police officers. Well, yeah, I mean, there was supposed to be, even though like there's this episode is called the Great Kyoto Fire. There's no fire just yet,
Yeah,
and a couple of them like try to start the fire before. Um, some of the people living in the city end up
the
catching
only
them.
one
Uh,
stopped them.
yeah,
Now being led by
yeah,
Masao.
mhm. Yeah, and then soon afterwards, we cut back to Kenshin,
Also, we
Saito, and
should mention
Sanosuke.
like Kaoru and Yahiko are, I guess, helping them. Which at least is I
Yeah,
do remember this from the movie that they actually were involved, or at least that Kaoru was involved.
yeah.
I'm
So,
not sure about Yahiko.
oh yeah. I mean, well, we don't really get to see them much in action, but we probably will get to see them getting involved in this
Yeah.
event. Um, but yeah, so we do cut back to Kenshin, Saito, and Sanosuke, looking for Shishio, and they come across like this old decrepit ship, out by the sea. While they're planning on how to board the ship, they find out that this old decrepit ship was actually like a giant warship in disguise, and which of course catches Kenshin and the others off guard. And then soon afterwards, Shishio orders the men in the ship to fire their cannons um, on all of them before somehow Kenshin and the others manages to dodge the cannon
I
fire.
thought it was funny because their initial plan, or at least Kenshin's initial plan, was to get into the ship from like try to sneak onto the ship from beneath, like from go underwater, and I guess get in that way. But it's like they were already spotted like when they started walking up to where the ship was. Like you could clearly see like that Shishio and all the rest of them knew they were there. So it's not like they would be able to
Mhm.
sneak on there anyway. Like they're already aware of their presence.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, like they do manage to
Yeah.
board the ship. They are. they were also getting targeted by one of the Gatling guns before Sonosuke. I think what was it uses his new ability that he learned to, I guess, create a giant wave that stops the Gatling
Yeah.
gun bullets.
Well, yeah, because one of the I think it was as either Seto or somebody else said, like, he's just Sonosuke was just nobody because they weren't really familiar with his, like, who he actually was. And
Mhm.
yeah, after Shishio sees that, he's like, well, he's clearly not just nobody.
Yeah, and then soon after Kenshin and Saito board the ship, Kenshin's all of a sudden gets ambushed by Aoshi, who finally comes face to face with him for the first time since the what was it? Well, since one of the season one's earlier arcs.
Yeah, well, since the opium or the Megumi arc, yeah,
Hmm.
he's just kind of been he hasn't really been there. So we're finally getting the rematch of Kenshin versus Aoshi. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. We kind of got like a little bit of I guess, a bit of a skirmish between them, but not much in this episode, and it was just more. It is just kind of setting up for that. And yeah, we don't actually get the Kyoto fire actually happening yet. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. It just felt like it just went by really fast. So of course it feels like it's more so just setting up for the eventual climax. And I'm kind of surprised that, like, I would hope it's already has happened at this point. So I'm kind of surprised that we still haven't actually gotten the fire. So I guess maybe the fire is going to actually happen in the next episode. And we'll actually get the the rematch of Kenshin versus Aoshi. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode regardless of that, though. It just felt like it was just even more set up before we're actually going to get to the climax of the Kyoto fire. And also, I guess this the rematch with Kenshin and Aoshi, which they have definitely been like setting up for quite a while at this point.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's so far like it's. I am quite excited on how the fight is going to eventually
Yeah.
play out. I mean, we still even after like the Aoshi and Kenshin fight, there's still the confrontation between him and Shishio later. And then of course we have to catch up on all the other characters that they're at the same time they're fighting off against members of the 10 swords and trying their best to prevent the fire. But that's I think it's going to be an eventuality that the fire is going to get started one way or the
Yeah.
other.
But yeah, I thought it was an okay episode regardless of that, though. I don't really have much else to say about it. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, it kind of went by a little bit faster than we thought we would. But yeah, it's mainly just the start of of what we're eventually going to end up seeing for the next several episodes, which is like you mentioned, the climax of which we could assume is the remainder of season 2.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in where, like, the remake, where it's going to go after season 2. Of course, as we know, what they plan to adapt I mean, supposedly at least they plan to adapt the entire manga. So I'm interested because we're finally, I guess, going to see. Well, I don't know unless the I think it's called the Remembrance arc in the manga, which is the Stress and Betrayal arc. I think that happens after this one, but I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, I guess we're going to get to that eventually. But then we're also going to get to, I think, the final arc of the series, which of course there has never been an official, like, animated version of that. So I'm definitely interested to when they're going to get to that. And I guess also when they're going to get to the Remembrance arc, because I know people are definitely going to be comparing it to the OVA. Unfortunately, my prediction is, even though it might be good, I just don't think it's going to hold a candle to that original OVA, because so many people hold that OVA as, like, in, like, really high regard as, like, one of the best OVAs ever. So I don't know if it's really going to be able to hold up to that. But I guess we'll see. I mean, so far, I guess a lot of people have said that they've been, handling the Kyoto arc pretty well in comparison to how it was in the original series. I haven't gotten to that part yet in the original series, so I guess I kind of wish I had more of an opinion about that, but unfortunately I don't. So I'll just have to go off of, like, how it's been in the remake. And I think so far in the remake, like I'll definitely say like I like this season better than season 1, just because it's just the Kyoto arc, and I think the Kyoto arc is pretty interesting, and I do like Shishio as a villain. Um, but yeah, guys. So that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.